You know, and it occurred to me as I was thinking about this update that we forget, because the liberal media doesn't want you to remember, because our education system is deficient, how it is our country came into being. And to that end, I'm going to read a little bit of the Declaration of Independence. I'd like to read the whole thing, but I don't think I can get through the whole thing, because it's worth remembering and worth sharing how our country was founded. And in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have been connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station in which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed with their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferances of these colonies, and such now is the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, in having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. And then all of the portions of it's an indictment of the Great Britain's tyranny over the colonies is listed. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America and General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions due in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these United States colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And that's pretty moving stuff, isn't it? That's pretty moving. And obviously all the members, the delegates, signed underneath. Because if they lost, if this wasn't successful, the men who signed this declaration were facing ruin and worse. Now, bring this forward to today. Are we acting as a citizenry in a way that would do justice to those who put everything on the line, including their lives, to provide us with the nation we have today? Our freedoms, our Constitution, our rights, our liberties. And so I'd like to think that Judicial Watch advances the values there in the Declaration of Independence, holding our government to account, not suffering the indignities of lawlessness of our elected representatives and our bureaucracies.